G'day and welcome to Aussievision. I'm Dale and I'm joined by the amazing Sam to talk about all things Germany this morning. Sam, welcome to the video. What did you think of the show overall?
Guten Morgen, Dale. Yeah, I thought it was a very interesting show. I think I didn't quite get the sort of cover songs at the start. I thought that took a lot of time. The postcards also took very long. I literally listened to one of the Danish songs during one of the postcards. So I think a chaotic format, as typical for German Eurovision, they really go against their reputation of being slick and meticulous and all that when they do their Eurovision show. Um, there were some interesting performances, but I did think, as Stefan and Conchita said, they were on the jury today. I think the best song won. Maybe not the best voice, but the best song, in my opinion. Yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree as well with the format. Like, I understood why they did well, I didn't understand, but that was the format they wanted to do in the semi or the first heat about, okay, let's see if they can do a cover song before we get to the songs. But we're in the final. What's the point? And it just drags out the show. The one benefit from it, though, as you mentioned, is I could jump over to Denmark and watch that quite easily. As you said, it actually worked out quite well a lot of the time that it was easier to watch things, but as a show on its own, it did make a lot of sense. I did think people really elevated a lot of their performances from the semi-final. I think the top two in particular, and so I think that made a bit of a difference because some of them were quite weak in the semi, and I thought they lifted enough to do well in the end. Right. Well, let's talk about the winner, Abor and Tina with Bala or however they say it with the German. Um, what did you think of this? Did you think it deserved to win?
Yeah, I think it was, as I said, I think certainly the most unique song and definitely an earworm. It has a whole cool feel to it. But as I was discussing with some of my other Aussie Vision contributors today, I think they really need to fix the vocals and the staging. I think her vocals, I thought, were quite weak. She really needs to clean them up for Eurovision. And I didn't quite get the staging. The cello smash, whilst it was very interesting. Ruining an expensive instrument during a cost of living crisis. I'm not very sure. Um, and the dancing I felt by her, I know she's sort of freestyling it a bit, but I felt a bit chaotic. So I think the song itself is really good. They've got some good bones. It's now, as you like to say, Dale, tearing up the national final staging and really coming up with a new concept for Eurovision, I think.
Totally. They could obviously see in her semi-final, she had this weird camera thing that she was holding that was kind of like doing this weird, almost like selfie stick thing, and it was just awful, terrible. And so that really put me off the performance and the song to a point. Today was enough to go, okay, we can do something with this. Like we can perform it. I would not take that staging at all to Basel. I don't mind a little bit of the freestyle thing, like, but I totally agree with you. It is a great song to take to Eurovision, and you can fix staging. Like you can fix that. And I think as a sound and having some language in there, it's a sound and things that people want from Germany. Like if I hear that, even if it was in full English and stuff, I would still think it's got a German kind of sound of their kind of like dance pop music. So I like it. And the la 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 la's will stick with people. You know, you're gonna remember it even if it is a bit repetitive.
Yeah,
All right.
totally agree.
So what about second place? A bit of a surprise, I think. No, I loved this song. This was my 12 points. Um uh Lisa with Lovers on Mars. I didn't expect to get close to winning, but it almost did. What did you think about this?
Yeah, I would like to start off by saying that out of the cover songs, I thought she did the best.
Agreed.
Radiohead's Creep. Yeah, I thought that was really good. If that was the song she could take to Eurovision, that would have been good. Um, Look, I didn't feel as strongly towards this song, but I did like her change of dress. I thought her dress was really good. It really fit in with the space theme. I thought out of all the songs, the staging made the most sense, with the astronauts floating about, the pretty a vibrant earth behind her, the whole space thing. I thought it was a beautiful song and performance. I think she did really lift it. So maybe not the most sort of unique, outstanding song, but I can understand why this did well. Yes.
Yeah, it was a real cute little pop song. That's what I really liked about it. It was just done, it's simple but done very well. And I did think her whole performance improved dramatically again from the semi-final. The dress, even the vocal was better, even though it still could have improved a little bit. But I think she did a great job and agree. That was a cracking cover. So yeah, I quite liked her. but it's if it went to Eurovision, I think it'd be in a bit of trouble. I think the winner has more potential to give Germany some points. But it was very close, 34% to 31%, I think, in the end. Now, the top five were chosen by the jury, Sam. So we had all these songs. We had nine songs. After the covers and the songs, we had nine songs and we went down to five. Now, the other three, we had we had Moskena, we had the Great Leslie and Leonora. Any surprises amongst those three getting through, or did you think that they were the right ones?
Well, I was a little bit surprised because I thought there were three rock songs in this lineup. The Great Leslie, Foish Fans, which we'll talk about a bit, and Cosby. I was surprised to see the Great Leslie being the rock representative in the final. But I do want to say that I have to give a shout out to my boy Moss Kenner. I thought, as Conchita said, best voice in the competition. And he is English, so I think it was always going to be an uphill struggle to win the televote. But I thought that staging was beautiful and simplistic. And I think third is a great result. But yeah, I think apart from the great Leslie, I think, and maybe Leonora a little bit, I think the top three was probably the right top three. Yeah.
Yeah, look, I think for me, like Leonora, a great song, sorry, great voice, just dull song, just not Eurovision. I understand maybe in a way why they put her through because she was a really good performer, but oh no, sorry. Next, that should never have got anywhere close to the top five, in my opinion. I also have to say, out of the rock ones, to me, Great Leslie was the choice I actually had, so I'll disagree slightly there. Only because I think, look, it was a British German group, and you could definitely hear that British sound coming through. Very 2000s kind of Brit rock, which was my era. So maybe that's why I like it a little bit. Chucked in with a little bit of like emo guy liner, but I love the staging, the performance. I think they did a really good job. Vocal could have been a bit better tonight, but still, good performance. And Moss Kenner, I agree, great voice. Song, Nothing Can Stop Love. Well, I'm glad something stopped this song because it was
Real.
awful. Oh my God.
No, it was not.
I found it
No, no.
so twee and so sickeningly sweet. I just could not handle it. So I loved him and his voice though. Fantastic. But that song I loathed with a passion.
I think you need to clean your ears, Dale. Clean them ears out, as Nicole would say. Yeah, I thought we
Well, this is
disagreed.
the beauty of Eurovision. We can agree to disagree, even though, yep, it's still anyway. But yes, you mentioned before for Schwanz, that was quite that with nightclub. That was a talking point because essentially, if that had gone through to the top five, it had every chance of winning. It had a lot of public love, a lot of fan love. What did you think about the whole thing about the jury choosing the top five and basically ruining their chances?
Well, this was a last minute decision. Originally, they were just going to do a public vote for all nine acts. And maybe they looked at the results of the recent German election and were like, we really can't trust German people to make a good decision. So yes, I don't think the crowd was very happy with that. After the top five had been announced, they're literally chanting Feuer Schwanz, the audience. They weren't very happy with that. But having said that, if that had got through and won, like literally, if someone had entered AI created, medieval rock and entered that into AI generator, like that's what would come out. It was just, yeah, very generic and cheesy, like probably one of the worst rock songs I've heard. So I'm a little relieved that didn't get through to the German vote. Yeah.
It's one of those ones where I agree. Like there was full rigor mortis going on to keep them away from that top five to change the format last minute, which is really questionable. However, like good Euro fans do, we agree with it when it goes right, and I agree with
Yeah.
it when it goes right. If it ruined one of my chances, I'd be up in arms. But look at Blood and Glitter from a couple of years ago. Much better song, much better performers than these guys. I like them. I think they did a really good job, and they present really well, and they do their thing. But you've got to come with a much better song than that because there's repetitive and there's like look. Like I know the la 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 is one thing, but you've got this great production. You've got this cheap, cheesy kind of thing with this really basic song. They would have been bottom couple, if not last, guaranteed in Basel. So, as much as people love it and love the novelty, we've got enough of that this year that do it a lot better than they do. So they would have been destroyed. And for Stefan Raab, who really has put himself out on the line here to deliver a decent result, he was not going to let that happen.
Yeah, smart, Stefan, smart. Yeah.
Is there any other ones worth mentioning, Sam, or anything else about the show?
No, not really. I will say it will be interesting to see the result for Aber and Tina at Eurovision because, as you said, Stefan has stuck his neck out. Every German Eurovision act that Stefan's been involved in has come top 10. So I'm not sure if this will quite get there. This could break the streak, but who knows? We'll have to see. As we know, Germany doesn't do very well at Eurovision these days. But I do think, because I'm not mentioning any of the others, this is probably the best song of the lineup, I think. And good to see German return to Eurovision, not just with Erica from Finland. So we like a bit of native language Germany too. Yeah.
I think that'll help them a little bit here, and I agree with you. It is the right thing. As we've already said, clean that all up, and there's a decent Eurovision entry there. But exciting times for Germany to have some German back. But that'll be it for our discussion today, Sam. I very much appreciate your efforts as always, and we'll catch you next time.
Dankeschön. Tschüss.